Some caves look completely harmless, but one wrong step inside can trap you forever. Over the decades, explorers all over the world have entered caves expecting adventure, only to face sudden, deadly forces that turned their trips into unsolved tragedies. Today, we're diving into some of the most chilling stories of cave exploration gone wrong. First, let's talk about the Talu Cave in Norway, one of Europe's most dangerous underwater cave systems. Imagine this: a team of 5 Finnish divers attempting to traverse its narrow, freezing tunnels. These weren't amateurs, they were skilled and experienced. The plan was to navigate the submerged passages, a true test of their abilities. But at a depth of 110 meters, disaster struck. One of the divers got stuck, wedged in a tight passage. Another diver immediately tried to help, attempting a desperate rescue in the pitch-black ice-cold water. But in the process, both men perished. Their bodies were left deep inside the unforgiving cave. Official recovery missions were deemed too dangerous and called off, but their friends couldn't accept that. Weeks later, in a secret and highly risky operation, the friends of the deceased divers went back into the cave. They risked their own lives, navigating those same deadly passages, determined to bring their friends home. It was an incredibly dangerous mission, driven by loyalty and grief. They succeeded. But the story serves as a haunting reminder of the fine line between bravery and tragedy in the world of cave diving. The Talu Cave system remains a place of both awe and terror. Next, we travel to the Bugrada cave, a place notorious for claiming lives and leaving behind unanswered questions about preparation, risk, and the limits of human endurance. This isn't just one story, but a series of them. The tight, deadly passages of this cave have become a final resting place for several explorers. Each incident adds to the cave's grim reputation, leaving families and the caving community to wonder what went wrong. Was it a lack of preparation, an underestimation of the risks, or was it simply bad luck in an environment that offers zero room for error? The cave keeps its secrets, its dark corridors, a silent testament to the dangers that lie beneath our feet. Now, let's descend into one of the deepest caves known at the time, where an international team of explorers faced a heartbreaking tragedy. Marcel Lubin, an experienced caver, was part of an expedition pushing the boundaries of underground exploration. The team was making its way back to the surface. Marcel was being hauled up a vertical shaft when the unthinkable happened. The cable snapped. He fell almost 40 meters, landing in a lower chamber, severely injured. What followed was one of the most incredible underground rescue efforts ever attempted. Rescue teams rushed to the scene. They performed a complex medical operation deep inside the cave, including in-cave blood transfusions, something almost unheard of. For nearly 36 hours, they fought tirelessly, trying to hoist him out of the abyss. But despite their heroic efforts, the challenges were too great. Marcel succumbed to his injuries deep underground. His death remains one of the most haunting reminders of the hidden dangers in unexplored caves, a story of immense courage in the face of absolute despair. Let's shift our focus to Thailand and the tragic story of Talu Cave. On a rainy afternoon in October 2007, a group of 9 tourists entered this cave. On the surface, it seemed like a perfect adventure. The cave was known for its shallow water passages and beautiful, scenic tunnels. But it also had a dark side. It was prone to sudden, terrifying flash floods during the rainy season. That day, the weather near the cave entrance seemed stable. But miles away, upstream, heavy rain had fallen, completely unseen by the group and their guides. As they moved deeper into the tunnels, the water levels began to rise, slowly at first, then with terrifying speed. Panic erupted as a massive wall of water, a flash flood, crashed through the passages. Within minutes, the cave turned into a death trap. 8 of the 9 people drowned, including 2 local guides and a 10-year-old boy. Only one person survived, a teenage girl who managed to cling to a narrow ledge for over 16 hours, waiting in the dark until help arrived. You would think this tragedy would serve as a permanent warning. But history has a grim way of repeating itself. Fast forward to 2024. Another group, ignoring official closures and warnings, entered the same cave. They experienced a near-identical tragedy. A sudden flood surged through the cave, and one of their guides was swept away and lost his life while helping the tourists escape. Talu Cave remains a stark, chilling warning that nature's dangers are often invisible until it is far, far too late. Finally, we head to the Adirondacks in the United States, where a little-known cave became the final resting place for a young explorer. 3 friends decided to explore this cave system. It was cold, and freezing water was already rushing through the passages, but they were determined and pushed on. The group reached a vertical shaft, a drop that required them to descend. One of the climbers, James Mitchell, began his descent, but as he moved down, he became trapped, caught in the powerful torrent of water pouring down the shaft. The force of the water was immense, pinning him against the rock. His 2 companions spent nearly an hour in a frantic, desperate struggle to save him. They fought against the cold and the sheer force of the water, but it was too much. They were exhausted and starting to suffer from hypothermia themselves. Eventually, they had to make the heartbreaking decision to go for help. Rescue teams arrived, but the conditions were just too dangerous. The continuous flow of water made any recovery attempt impossible. For the safety of future explorers, officials made a difficult choice. The cave was sealed, permanently. James Mitchell's body was left suspended underground, a permanent and tragic part of the cave he had set out to explore. These stories aren't just tales of adventure gone wrong. They are powerful lessons about respect for nature, the importance of preparation, and the courage of those who risk everything in the dark. Thanks for watching, and if you found this compelling, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most incredible stories. Stay safe out there.